Good, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, Virgil Abloh announced that he is the menswear designer for Louis Vuitton. Now, this is a pretty big deal. Every, social media, streetwear site is posting about it. Let's talk what it means for Off-White, for Louis Vuitton, and Virgil Abloh himself. Pretty big fan of Off-White and Louis Vuitton. I would say more Off-White more recently. I think that Off-White has kind of taken over the streetwear scene in the past, I don't know, year and a half, with all the Nike collabs and all the different things that has been coming out with Off-White and Virgil. And it just seems like everything he's putting out is just, everybody wants it. This is a great thing, how everything's been doing so well, but a lot of people also see the hypebeast side of it, and where that is kind of like a double-edged sword, where you have all these hypebeasts now that think if you just wear Off-White, that you know how to dress. And it seems like Off-White is, still that high-end brand, but it has just touched so much into the regular consumer world that so many people are acquiring it now that it doesn't really seem as much of that brand when you look at it from a perspective of typically a shirt for a normal person to buy would be, around 30 bucks. That's like your average consumer price for a t-shirt, maybe even a lot. So maybe $20 would be like the average consumer price for a t-shirt. Look at Off-White, and some of the most recent drops, the shirts go for around $300 to $330 for a t-shirt. So when I see younger kids and a lot of people my generation wearing those, I'm very surprised that they're putting out that much money for just a t-shirt. And I would have to say, because it is Off-White and it's that desire, because so many people wearing it, I feel like a lot of people want to keep up with that trend. Now, I want to look a little bit deeper and see if there are any Easter eggs or any hints at what could be coming with Louis Vuitton and Off-White. So I wanted to briefly go over the High Snob article on this whole thing. So it was released 8 hours ago. So basically last night around 2 a.m., that's when it was announced. There were Instagram posts put out, as well as an article like here. And I want to tell you guys, basically run down through what it says. So the artistic director, Kim Jones, was appointed to artistic director of Dior Home, which is another company that is owned by Louis Vuitton. Virgil quotes in this article, "This opportunity to think through what the next chapter of design and luxury will mean at a brand that represents the pinnacle of luxury was always a goal in my wildest dreams, and to show the younger generation that there's no one way anyone in this position has to look is a fantastically modern spirit in which to start." Now, that last part is very confusing and I had to read it over 2 times. But basically, Virgil went on to post this picture right here, which is just like a vintage Louis Vuitton box from my knowledge. Now, it could be something else, but this is just what I see from my knowledge. So this is also the initial post that went up. It just says 2018 menswear designer. This is just I don't know if this is like an actual thing or this is just a mock-up from High Snob. But basically, his first pieces will be showcased in June of this year, where we'll get to see exactly what's coming out. Now, I want to go ahead and leave, somewhat of a prediction for what could be coming, because does this mean that all the stylings of Off-White in that is going to be in Louis Vuitton? I do not think so. I believe that it will be something that has to do with Louis Vuitton itself. It's its own entity, and he'll be designing his own things that relate to the brand that it already has. Now, Louis Vuitton is very well known for its different luxury leather goods, now purses, wallets, all that. Now, there are some different shirts and sweatshirts, sweaters and whatnot, but I think that one of the pinnacle things through Louis Vuitton would be their leather goods. Little side note, as I'm filming this, I just got my confirmation that I won these Sean Wotherspoon Air Maxes. I literally entered right before I was filming. I got him. I'm hyped because I almost bought him for $600 a week and a half ago. Can't wait to show you guys this soon because I love this shoe so much. Now, we all know about the ginormous collab with Supreme that Louis Vuitton did that was enormous, and it's probably going to be one of the biggest events in streetwear that has happened in a very long time. Now, I say that because the amount of buzz that created and the amount of press and everything it got for how expensive the shirts were going for, how much the jackets, everything was selling for, and how you couldn't go into the stores and buy it even at that expensive price point, is what just makes it such a large part of this, year and the forming of streetwear throughout the year, and connecting the skateboarding brand Supreme to Louis Vuitton, the luxury designer brand. I do think that there will be some sort of maybe like a touch of Off-White stylings, like how he has such unique stylings in the Louis Vuitton stuff. And I think that it will be a huge thing for Louis Vuitton because Gucci has been destroying the, clothing game in streetwear. I think that they have been touching down in that realm of streetwear, and they're getting so many, I see so many people throughout the streetwear community you know, that higher end streetwear community wearing Gucci all the time, the sweatshirts, the shoes. I have a pair of Gucci shoes. I think Gucci has made it to an amazing point where they're doing incredible, especially in the streetwear world, and you would never think in streetwear that a high-end luxury designer brand would be there, but it is because of the stylings that they're coming out with. So I think that this is going to be a huge competitor for Louis Vuitton and a huge opportunity for Louis Vuitton to come in and take away the throne from Gucci as this company that is just making a killing in everything right now. Gucci is another one of those luxury leather goods brands that I kind of relate to. Now, I have plenty of rings, t-shirts, whatever from Gucci, shoes. I have a lot of different things from Gucci. And that's because I really like some of the stylings. And I think that Virgil is the perfect person to bring those stylings that everybody is wanting to Louis Vuitton and make that brand just as popular as Gucci is in streetwear right now. So back in October, there was a little bit of works between Virgil and Louis Vuitton. They had a little bit of a collab, and it was the Louis Vuitton x Jeff Koons straps. And a lot of people, you know, were posting about it. I never looked full into it, but I do have the post here. As you can see, it's like a Louis Vuitton bag, and it's got the strap, and it just has, you know, 2017, the strap, you know how he labels everything like that. Now, in this article, it basically talks about how it was, you know, more of a custom along the lines, not necessarily an official collab. Now, that makes sense. But also in that previous article, it says that Virgil will be moving to Paris with his family, so he's taking that full jump to go into the whole Louis Vuitton thing and start a new chapter, which I think is awesome, and I cannot wait to see what is to come from this. I want to know what you guys think is going to happen. Do you think that Off-White is going to bleed into the Louis Vuitton menswear wave, or do you think Virgil is going to create his own entity and his own stylings through Louis Vuitton? I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm very excited for this because this is just gonna shake up the world of streetwear. It broke the internet this morning. When I woke up, all I saw was posts about this, so I saw an article showing some of the Reddit reactions to this, so I wanted to go ahead and break down some of the reactions that I'm seeing on Reddit, because Reddit is a place to basically speak your mind. Everybody there just lets it loose and just says whatever they want to, and it can be brutal at times, but also can be very constructive at sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and look at some of the top posts and kind of break them down. Now, the first one on the top of it has 612 votes. It says, I think the hire was to try to compete with Balenciaga and Gucci's street appeal. Like I said, Gucci in the beginning of the video, as well as, I didn't mention Balenciaga, but now I can definitely see Balenciaga was named one of the top brands of last year, so I can definitely see where the competition would come in for Balenciaga and Gucci. I don't know if it will work in the long term, but I think it's a calculated risk that will probably have some success. Even if they drop a couple lines together, it'll probably sell well. I can agree with that, because the hype between Louis Vuitton and Virgil with Off-White recently alone, I think will have enough push to go ahead and make a couple drops at least do very well. But if they angle it right, I think they can make it work long term. What do you guys think? The next one says, what, this dude really finessed his way to the top. Now, if you don't know what this means, basically Virgil started out with Ben Trill and Pyrex and made his way all the way up to collabing with Louis Vuitton, which is absolutely insane. Which I do think he deserves respect for that, because there are so many different people who are trying to create a fashion brand, who are trying to make waves in the fashion industry, and it can get flooded because there is so many people trying to do this that it's hard for people to stand out. And the fact that he made it from that to where he is now is actually crazy. If you haven't seen, Virgil doesn't just do the fashion as well. He does a lot of DJing. I saw him DJ at ComplexCon last year, as well as he's done talks at Harvard. I think he's doing very well with the way he's kind of pushing himself. And all of this is just keeping, you know, his name relevant within the community. So I do think it is a good thing. Someone asked, why does it have to be labeled a finesse? And then somebody said, because he sells low quality overpriced streetwear. Now, this is where the debate comes in. If Off-White, the brand he's mainly known for, is overpriced. Now, a t-shirt is around $330. I would think a more respectable price point while still staying in that high-end luxury designer brand, you could be around $150 to $180. Now, I know why he can charge that, because he's built the brand up to be where it is now. We all know how large Off-White is, and that's why he can charge that, and it won't be contested really, because a lot of the stuff still sells out. B-Man 1018 had one that I thought was very well written out, and I'll let you guys go ahead and read that if you want to link it down below, but it's just too long for me to say right here. This next one says, that feeling when screen printing on Champion blanks Pyrex can end up landing you a job at arguably one of the most champion fashion labels of all time, which, again, like I said before, is actually crazy. And a lot of people are saying, you know, he deserves it. Some of the people who are on the opposition, I guess, to this and are saying it's not really a good thing, or not necessarily haters, but people who have a different opinion on it, are saying that he had a co-sign from Jay-Z, Kanye, and, you know, that he had a lot of help to get where he's at. But I still think he has taken, you know, a lot of steps to get where he's at. And you have to have something to get where you're at. Just having those doesn't mean you're going to succeed. Person said, I don't even like the men, especially his menswear designs, but all of a sudden everyone here is a Louis V shopper. LOL. I'm not expecting anything exciting, but I'm interested in the direction he'll choose. Too bad, just menswear. I think women's would be far superior. We'll have to see. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you are new here and you haven't seen my content before, go back a couple of videos. You can see my last video was an off-white challenge of my mom. It just so happens to be an off-white video. I think I've been offering some really great content lately, so if you are a viewer of this channel and you haven't been watching my videos recently, go ahead and check a few videos back and tell me if you haven't seen the progression in the content. So that's all I'm going to say. I'll see you guys next time. This is Harrison, signing out.